welcome to Life in the Big Shitty. Let's talk about how I found my biological family. I'm a rideshare driver, so right now I'm just taking a break and headed home to have some lunch. So I figured it'd be a good time to talk about it. Maybe I can inspire someone else to look for their family. I am 36 years old, and I would say I was about 32, maybe 33 when I located them. What first started as just an interest in what my nationality was, where my ancestors came from, and what truly made up Megan. I received a DNA kit from my mom for a gift. I think it was Christmas or my birthday, I can't remember. But it was 23andMe. And this kit, basically, it's kind of gross, but you collect your saliva. It takes like 10-15 minutes. There's like a little tube, almost like a test tube, and you fill it up with your saliva, send it in, and I think it took like 2 weeks for the results to get back. But yeah, the name is 23andMe. What was interesting is it shows family that is on the site as well that you're related to. So I actually connected with a second cousin. A lot of the cousins that I had on there were like fourth cousins, fifth cousins, twice removed type thing. And basically, I said to myself, when I saw the second cousin, I said, you know what? That's kind of close. Let me see if maybe they know something about my biological family. Now, this is after years of me searching and also trying to even reach out to certain TV networks that have these shows that help people find their biological family. Because in a closed adoption, it's almost impossible. But what's really cool about my situation is that my biological mother at the time was 15 when she had me. And she did not have a place to stay after the hospital stay. So my mom that adopted me said she would pay for the hotel, make sure that she's okay. And my biological mother actually wrote a card, gave it to the nurse and said, would you please give this to her? And wrote her name on the card. And like I said, with closed adoption, you're not supposed to do anything like that. We're not supposed to know names. We're not supposed to know who, what, where, when, why. I mean, of course you know some of the details, like what their situation is, what's going on, etc. And this was through a church too. So anyway, the card had her name on it. And when I turned 18, my mother gave me that card and said, it's your decision if you want to find her, if you want to try to locate her, here's something that you can work with. So I had her name. When I connected with this cousin, she didn't really have a clue who I was referring to. She's like, I don't know, let me ask my mother, my grandmother, and let me get back to you. So I said, absolutely, let me know. Well, a couple days went by and she said, well, we know some of the side of the family, but I couldn't really tell you where they are, where they live, or even how to get a hold of them. But she worked for the government and she had very high clearance. I don't know what program or software she had, but all I knew is that she had high clearance and got approval from her employer to look up the information that I did have and see if she could pull some other information I could use to locate them. Well, catch this out. This lady, within like a day, came back to me with everything I needed. Mother, father's name, brother's name. Now, my brother stayed with my biological mother, and he's only 11 months older than me. So that's who I reached out to first, because my entire life I knew I had a brother, and I didn't find out till I was 18 when I got the card. So this was something that was really important to me, something that I always wanted, because I was an only child growing up. So what's weird though is I felt that I had a brother and we have the same mother and father. So I reached out to him, got in contact with him via Facebook, and he's like, there's no way, like, this is you. Like, what? I'd never thought that we would meet, or even know that that we would even meet, period. So anyway, fast forward a couple of years later, because me and him both were going through a lot of things, so we didn't have the time and energy to connect at that time, but we kept in touch. Finally, we meet. I think this was last year. We finally meet. He's almost near Georgia and I'm in Tampa. So we halfway mark, met at this like dive bar, had a great time, ate, talked for hours. And of course, from there, I've talked to siblings, half siblings from my father's side, from my mother's side. I've talked to aunties that's in Nicaragua. I've talked to cousins, just a bunch of different people, and especially my biological mother. This week, today is June 8th. This week, I will be meeting my biological mother for the first time. So what's really cool is it's going to be me, my brother, mother, and grandmother. So this is the first time in my 36 years of life that I'm going to have them in my presence. Super excited. I think this is something that we all need. And I won't document the meeting. I think that stuff like that needs to stay private. And I think that we should be able to feel safe and be able to express our emotions and not feel like we're being watched or have to stage anything. So that's not something I'm going to document, but I will tell the story on how it went. So I hope you guys subscribe, and I hope you're interested in hearing how it goes. But yeah, I really just, by the time I was 30, I just kind of accepted, hey, I'm probably not going to ever see them or meet them. And that was okay for me, because I had such a beautiful life. And I was so grateful for her giving me up for adoption, to be able to give me that opportunity to have the life that I had, because she was so young. And we all know having a kid is not an easy job, especially for a young woman, a young single woman. So yeah, if you're looking for your family, I suggest 23andMe. There's other, I think, Ancestry. There's other tools and sources where you can now use your DNA to connect with people in the world and yeah, meet your family. So if you're adopted and you've been thinking about it, this is your sign to do it. Sure, you should prepare yourself for any and everything, right? Kind of have low expectations. That way, there's not a high chance of being hurt or disappointed. Not every story is a great story. But fortunately for me, it's been going really well, and it seems like we're all pretty genuine and can't wait to be in each other's lives and learn about each other and other and more, So yeah, this is your sign. Do it, don't give up. Bye guys.